doesn't adhere to, oh, he's got baggage. He doesn't have got baggage. It's Conan the Barbarian, period. Punto final. Let's do it. You know, you got to flex that testosterone, man. You got to what are you going to do? Make Conan a mama's boy? Rodriguez has been making the rounds, and he was recently on Joe Rogan, and he's promoting his stuff. I'm gonna definitely listen to this entire podcast, but let's talk about Conan the Barbarian, which I think has gone through a lot of stuff. 5 years ago, it was announced that the Netflix streaming service had secured a deal with Conan Properties International, and that gave them the right to dig through the entire catalog of Conan novels and stories to develop live-action animated films and TV shows. Not surprisingly, given that there hasn't been any updates on the project in the last 5 years. Yeah, big surprise there. It has now been revealed that Netflix let their Conan rights lapse. I got a theory about that. And I know Andre has done a lot of work on this as well. The news does come from a surprising source, filmmaker Rob Rodriguez, who talked about Conan during an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Rodriguez said, and here's the big quote, right? Netflix had it. Like they had the project, right? They had the rights. Not like they're done with it. Like, I've had it. Netflix had it. I went in and pitched to them, and they let the rights lapse. Sometimes it's too much baggage for a character. Asked what he thought about the previous Conan adaptations, he said no one has captured the spirit of Conan from the books yet. So this is like not like tons of information, but it is insightful, right? And again, I have not seen the entire Robert Rodriguez. I actually just started it, so I definitely haven't seen this soundbite, this moment. You know, so the context I'm pulling from, but one, if they had let Robert Rodriguez do Conan Barbarian, I don't think that that's a bad idea and that he's passionate about it. I just want to know, what Rodriguez are we getting? Are we going to get Boba Fett shiny scooters Rodriguez, or are we going to get Desperado Dust Till Dawn Rodriguez? Because I want Desperado Dust Till Dawn Rodriguez doing my Conan Barbarian. That's just me, right? Because you're also thinking that Schwarzenegger is GOAT, so you got to top that. You got to match it or top it. Now that's one thing on Rodriguez. The thing that he said in regards to letting the rights lapse and that there's been no activity for 5 years. Well, what happened 5 years ago? Coming up, what happened 5 years ago? Like now, 5 years ago in April, right? The whole planet was in lockdown. So that kind of makes sense that the creatives there, you know, there's so many things that went lapse in regards to our lives in general during the last 5 years, especially 2020. So I'm thinking that that had to do a little bit with it. But I'm also thinking the fact that he says these characters come with baggage, that is code for saying that Conan is just not PC enough for Netflix. And there's no way that they would do a faithful adaptation of Conan the Barbarian. Still not in this climate. Not Netflix. You know, it would have to be like, let's say Rodriguez goes and independently produces it. But it would have to be 90s Rodriguez. Not homie now, not shiny motorcycle scooter guy. Sorry. Right? Yeah. Too much testosterone, too much pillaging, and hearing the lamentations of the women. So if Rodriguez means that as, oh, the character has baggage, I'm almost thinking, well, if you're saying that, that says to me you're not the fit person to do this. It should be, you know what? Conan's kick ass. We need to get this done. We need to find someone that'll do it with us. So maybe this is a blessing, and we'll find someone else that doesn't adhere to. Oh, he's got baggage. He doesn't have got baggage. It's Conan the Barbarian. Period. Punto final. Let's do it. You know, you gotta flex that testosterone, man. You gotta let you. What are you gonna do? Make Conan a mama's boy? Give me a break. So I actually see this as a blessing, and maybe in a few years we can get a real new filmmaker to, with balls, literally con huevos, so we can get a really kick-ass Conan. I think again, I would love to have seen a Robert Rodriguez Conan. I'd say peak Rodriguez 1995 to 2005. I think when you get past that, he starts becoming too self-aware of his past work, and his kids are growing up, and he ain't gonna do Conan. He ain't gonna do Conan. What do y'all think? Let me know.